ragamuffin keeps striving in every way. International, what they call we international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm when I come down crucial. And me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place, I with the one Jamalski. We are the general. We sit up on the rhythm and over the mic incredible. I'll be right by the rhythm, move the rhythm, I sit down steady. Every ragamuffin you do, I feel rock and follow me. Jump up on the rhythm, make we ride it right. Chat up on the mic and keep it international. Cause anytime we jump on mic, they call we give it a general. International, when me ride palm rhythm and I move with the rhythm and I come down crucial. And me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place, I with the one Jamalski.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with another live stream. And I've seen somebody in the chat already talking about the last time we tried to do this with Melda. Yes, everything is going to go absolutely flawlessly as usual. Why don't you let me know if you can hear me in the chat so we can get things off right. And while you're letting me know if you can hear me, let me know where you're coming in from. I've seen Poland, Canada, where else? So in the meantime, let's just talk about a few things I want to get out of the way before I bring in our special guest today. First of all, we got a concert next Tuesday. It's going to be with Autopilot. He's a massive streamer on Twitch. He can do everything you can imagine with every instrument you can imagine, and he's actually going to be taking over the Plugin Boutique YouTube channel and giving us not only a concert live looping style, but also a walkthrough of everything he does to create what he does, because it sounds so good every time he does it. And it's just one person doing it all. So that's going to be an absolute treat. That will be 5 o'clock next Tuesday. Also, because we are doing the Melda stream today, we're going to be giving away a ton of Melda products throughout the stream. To win that, you just got to be active and positive in the chat, asking questions, helping people out if you know the answers to their questions, and just being a good positive source in the chat. Another thing as well is, for right now, we've got an exclusive 60% off SoundFactory from Melda Production on the site. So my friend Jim, who's running the chat, will go ahead and drop that link in the video, drop that link in the chat, and definitely click on it and check it out, because it's absolutely phenomenal. But with all of that stuff out of the way, let's bring on the special guest today, Mr. Vojtěch Melda Meluzín. How are you, man?
Hey, yo, what's up? Okay. I just made it up, you know. So.
How well did I do on your name? I don't mean to butcher it, but I've been trying with the Vojtěch I'm trying my hardest to say it right.
Yeah, the Vojtěch part is really difficult, So it's Vojtěch.
Vojtěch.
Yeah. And lots of people thought like it's actually Voj and tech, like tech support. So yeah, it's not. It's actually the name. Yeah. I was born with it,
Well,
my life is a miserable piece of something.
Well, I like it. I mean, precisely because of that, it's got tech in the name, and obviously you're a very techie fellow, so I think it fits well, even if you don't pronounce it the same way.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I get used to it,
Well, thanks for joining us today. I know you're a busy person. I also know that we let you down last time. As soon as we hit the go live button on the last stream, a computer blew up and we had to just cancel the thing, and I felt absolutely terrible. But you have been an absolute star to come back on with us and not only talk about your plugins, talk about your life's work, but also give us a really cool exclusive demo as well. Is that right?
That's correct. And is it working?
Yeah. People in the chat have told me where they're coming from and said the video and the audio is clear. So I think we're on the right track. So far, so good.
Good.
Can you just give us a brief introduction to you and then maybe Melda Productions as a company?
Yeah, I did it last time, right?
Well, we'll do it again.
I won't pick up where I ended. Yeah, we start over. Okay, so, there can be a first contest. How many years do you think I have, people? And who is the first one to hit the right number will get SoundFactory license.
What is the question?
How old I am? How many years?
So how old is Vojtěch? We can call him Melda. That is his actual nickname. So if you can guess how old Melda is, we'll give you a copy of SoundFactory.
I will show myself fully so you can see the wrinkles and stuff. Okay. That should be enough, So, so basically, I'm from a music family, so I started playing like everything when I was young, and I started programming when I was like 10. So it was kind of natural that I would combine it, but actually I didn't know that before. I was at the end of the college where I did drummer. I created drummer for some projects and more projects and more projects. I reused it many times, and then I kind of trashed it. And at some point, not so good friend of mine, he was like attacking my ego. He was telling me that I never finish anything and we should sell it. And obviously there was nothing from him because he sucks. But I spent so much time with it that I thought like, yeah, I will try myself. And for years, I was working in the evening. During the day, I was going to school or work or something. And in between, there potentially was a girlfriend or something. So my life was almost without sleep and stuff. But yeah, after years, there was something. And it was this beautiful drummer, this beautiful CD I make, actually. Then the embarrassment story starts. So the first embarrassment part. I was young, so it's just, don't take me too seriously. And so basically, I thought it was a different time. I didn't know I could sell something myself, and there was no fast internet or anything. So I thought, I need distributors. So I checked the distributors for Steinberg Cubase, and I mailed them, all of them, all I could find. It was like 120 resellers, like reselling company, like you are now, but it was physical mostly. And I sent an email that I have this beautiful software called mDrummer, and it's just fucking F-word. Okay, marvelous. And then I went to a trip to Turkey, like, young trip. So without money and without stuff, there was no internet. And after a week or so, I just couldn't resist and found some internet coffee just to check it out. And I got 3 responses, all of them telling me the same thing. the link is wrong. They cannot download anything. So it's actually possible to mess up things this way, you know. So after that, I was like, okay, so this plan didn't work. So let's try a different plan. And I made a website myself, and I printed 500 N-Drummer DVDs. And
500.
then 500,
Oof.
yeah. So I was like, okay, now I need some people to visit my site, right? And SEO was in the, you know, like famous this time. So everyone was building backlinks to Google and stuff. So trying to make Google and other robots happy. It was a different situation than it is now. And so I thought, like, how can I do this? I don't have money for commercials or anything. So I will find forums and I will bring these backlinks. So I thought, like, forums for nobody. Nobody's on forums, right? It's just an empty place where I can place anything I want. So I found KVR. Yeah. And I made a beautiful topic where I was saying I made this beautiful drum machine and it's awesome. You should check it out. And then I made another, how is it called? Another account and confirmed my story. And saying like every other drum machine is so bad compared to this one. Well,
wait. You're telling me that you made an additional account and then replied to your original account to boost hype.
Isn't that awesome?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's wild. And people found out really quickly. I was like, they cannot know. So I actually made a third one. So much for embarrassment. You know? And after they blocked me, nobody actually cared. I was like, okay, maybe I just destroyed my potential business. And I was like, okay, so what am I going to do now? So since I created N-Drummer and it has effects inside it, I actually never really thought like I would be making effects. I thought I'm going to make N-Drummer and that's it. This is going to be my business. But it has effects inside it. I thought like, okay. And I thought like last attempt to save my efforts, or at least perhaps someone will just use the stuff, is to extract the effects from N-Drummer and offer them just for free as a plugins, you know, as normal
for free.
Plugins. So I did that, and within like a week or 2 weeks, they replied from KVR, and they were saying something like, "Okay, so we tried, we started some wild discussions about your free effects, and we would like to join us, but you have to promise that you will behave." So I was like, yeah, I'm going to behave. And since that, I'm a good guy. So that's basically the beginning of Melda production, which is one embarrassment after another.
And that's a wild story.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful that, I mean, you persisted, Vojtěch 1, 2, and 3 to get you to where you are today. I mean, that's wonderful, really.
In the beginning, I thought like, okay, I'm just going to work. It's fine. I'm a programmer, you know. But I was sad, you know. I invested so much time in that, you know. Yeah.
So people need to know now. How old are you?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm 39.
39. So unfortunately, Jim, you're gonna have to scroll back all the way to find the first person who said 39 and mark that down for a winner. Just to let everybody who's just tuned in know, we're here with Vojtěch Meluzín, the man behind Melda Productions, one of my favorite plugin manufacturers. We're talking, we're chilling, we're giving away plugins. We got a lot more giveaways to go. Just be active in the chat to win. We're going to pick some winners at a random throughout, and then at the end of the stream, we're just going to announce who won what. Lots of good stuff. Apparently, Melda here is giving away SoundFactory to people who can guess his age, or just the one person who did first. We've also got, let me just see here, Essentials Effects Bundles to give away. We've got Multi-Analyzers to give away. a few more SoundFactories, and even M Turbo Reverb, which actually is a good segue for me, Melda, because your Turbo line of plugins are the plugins where you can actually get in and begin to build your own plugins inside of the plugins, right?
It's not always like that, and people have been complaining because of the M Turbo delay. This one is slightly different. I mean, the motivation about Turbo line is a little different. It was more like, when I look at the market and look at, say, compressors, there are so many compressors, and everyone is making one simulation of analog stuff after another. And I thought, like, it should be inside one plugin, right? And I thought, like, how to do that? So I created something that could implement any compressor. So that was the idea. So the Turbo idea was more like giving people all the possibilities on the market inside a single plugin, because it's better for workflow. At least for me, I cannot imagine myself like switching between plugins, and I'm too lazy for that. So that was the idea. But added effect of you being able to create something unique, yeah, it's pretty much great in my opinion. And since then, I'm basically using almost only these plugins. So yeah.
No, I mean MXXX was the first one that I had hands on where I could get in and begin to add my own multi-band selectors and add different effects to it, and it's just got a really unique and powerful workflow. And then the next one I had hands on, I think, was N Turbo Delay. Oh no, N Turbo Reverb was the next one I had hands on with, which was, again, just you can, if you want to get in and make a very, very specific reverb with that plugin, you can absolutely do it. And along the way, you're essentially making your own reverb plugin. And you even got some like customized for like UI and stuff. You can make it look nice if you wanted to. But I was just blown away by the power and how far down the rabbit hole you could go. And then I was like, who made this? Like, just making a reverb plugin is hard enough. Reverb DSP is notoriously not the easiest thing to do to keep the CPU from not exploding every time you run a simple simulation. But you're actually making it where I can make my own stuff. And it's like, I get anxiety thinking about how to even begin to code that and make it a reality. But you've done it with multiple different effects, man. So hats off to you. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm telling you, I think I've done like 15 videos on some of your products, and that's only scratching the surface. As the video title suggests, and you told me the other day, it's over 120 plugins at this point, right?
Unfortunately, I would actually so much like to remove some of them, but yeah, like backwards compatibility will always be number one here. So yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal. So today, I actually want to get in and let you start demoing some stuff. We already have some questions. Do you think now is a good time for questions, or you want to jump into the demo?
Yeah, questions. Come on.
Okay, we got some questions. One is, are you still using Reaper?
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a follow-up question to that. That wasn't for me. That was by someone called Merrick Vusin. I have a follow-up, and that is why. Why is Reaper your go-to? It's not every day you see somebody using Reaper.
Really? Actually, I have stats here from all Melda customers, if you didn't disable the platform reporting. So I actually know the percentage of people who are using different DAWs, and it's quite surprising. Originally, I was Cubase guy. When I started making music, which was also, I think, when I was like 10 or something, it was on the old Atari ST or something, and there was only Cubase, and I was raised by Cubase, and everyone in my town is using Cubase, so I was a Cubase guy. But around, I think it was version 10, Cubase version 10, it just started behaving bad to me, It was just latency was bad, and it was unstable and stuff, so at some point, I just got so pissed that I did what I never thought I would do, changing a DAW. Changing a DAW is so scary in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
You have been using all these things throughout your entire life, and suddenly you have to switch to something else. But yeah, I did it, and I'm still on Reaper mainly because how fast it is, and it actually does everything I need to do. So yeah, I mean, like, Cubase is nicer. It's just more beautiful. That's just how it is. Sorry, guys from Cocos, but I mean, like, in the Reaper you can change anything you want, but the thing is, you would spend your life changing everything you need to change. So I think with the extensibility and stuff, they kind of went too far for me. So, but I'm using the basic settings and stuff, and it works for me. It's reliable. So yeah, sometimes it's a Google thingy, you know. I mean, like, whenever I need something just a little less obvious, I just need to Google it.
Yeah.
So many features, but yeah, I can do that.
Tony Thomas is asking if you built your own programming framework, or what are you using to code?
Yeah. Basically, I made my diploma work on a GUI system, which is the GUI system you can see in the plugins. That's why these are pretty much definitely like the first plugins which can be resized and vectorially sized, and actually the GUIs are making themselves. That's because I'm just lazy, you know. It's programming GUIs is really not only boring, it's difficult, you know, in a way, to make it extensively. Because when I am developing a plugin, I usually just come up with an idea and I start writing text. And I made the framework in such a way that a plugin can be made within like 1,000 lines. And that's mostly because all the GUI is actually created itself. And while I'm creating this plugin, I'm discovering things. I'm discovering stuff that would be needed to make this happen, to improve it. And if you are developing a plugin without such possibilities, it's really difficult to change it during the development stage. So you just create something and it needs to stay that way. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of work to just, add a single parameter. If you look at most companies, they don't even add anything. They just release the plugin and it stays that way forever.
Right.
I'm this kind of developer who just likes to add stuff whenever it makes sense, and it's easy enough for me. And that's what the framework does for me. I couldn't probably do that otherwise. But it's really difficult to make such a framework and keep it up to date, updated, whatever. Because whenever you want to change something, if you have a framework, the code is compact. You have as little lines as it is possible, but it's all interconnected. So at some point, you just lose your connections inside your brain and don't remember anymore. And then after every time you change inside the framework, you need to check everything.
Right.
But the good thing is I can actually do that. Nobody else can do that, because if you are in juice or something, then you have the juice and that's it.
Yeah.
And I can do that, and I can simplify my life like a lot from time to time. So, but it's
nice.
Sometimes it's hard. Yeah.
That was a great answer to a great question. Someone's wondering, on average, and this is just, I guess, on average is the best way to put it. How long does it take to make a plugin, start to finish, or is it like just an ongoing process, like you were just saying?
It depends. If you look at some of the plugins, like for example, if I would like to make a compressor now, I would make it within a day because I have everything prepared. I would probably make it within an hour. But if I would want to make something new, it depends how big it would be. For example, Turbo Reverb was quite complicated because I came up with all these modules inside a simplified programming language and stuff. So making this all happen was hard. And after that, I found out, it's not enough. It doesn't sound good enough. So I was making it better and better and better, and that took time. I think and turbo reverb, just the core engine. I mean, not the actual like presets and devices and stuff like that. It took, I don't know, 3 months or something. But other plugins, for example, M-Auto Line, I made it within a day.
Wow.
Because the basic idea was simple. So
well, let's stop chatting about plugins and jump into a little demo that you got lined up for us. Can you let us know exactly what we're going to be checking out here?
Well, we are going to be checking out SoundFactory, and the first, just a little teaser to the beautiful piano I have here.
Okay, I'm going to flip over, and we're going to be on your desktop now.
Okay.
And it is a beautiful, beautiful picture of a piano in the middle of the forest. Best place for a piano to be.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah, right.
I was actually making this, and originally it was inside a room. It just never really worked. And then I thought, like, yeah, let's try something totally crazy. And this was the first one. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Okay, so it wasn't really in this place, when we recorded it. Just for you to know, it isn't actually a photo.
Oh, it's a composite. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, like, who would be sampling a piano in a forest? There would be.
I think if anyone were to do it, it'd be you, my friend. I mean, what are we even talking about?
Should I try that?
I think you absolutely should. Like a big forest with lush reverb, and think of the delay lines and all of the different little effects, and even capture that ambience.
The piano there, I mean,
worth it, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. All
right, man, so
include the birds and stuff, and it's going to be awesome.
Well, if you want to go ahead and take it away, let's see what you got.
Okie dokie. So basically, I was looking for a virtual piano for forever, because I was never really happy. I tried like every piano out there. I bought so many pianos, and I don't use almost any of them. The only piano I was using for significant amount of time was the Alicia keys from Native Instruments. That sounded good, but a little distorted, a few keys and stuff, and I was never happy. And then I had the chance to actually record with my band in local, how is it called? Musical University, I would guess, in Prague. And they have this beautiful Steinway D, and just pressing in single key was like, oh, I want this. Since then, I thought like, yeah, okay, I'm going to buy this. I mean, it's expensive as hell, but I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get some money, and I'm going to buy this. And after a few years, I thought like, yeah, I should sample it at least. I cannot buy it yet. I mean, like, I wouldn't even be able to put it somewhere because my house isn't really like finished. But maybe I will buy it at some point. Not so big, probably smaller version. But I should at least sample it. And it took like 2 years to actually, manage the sampling. Get some time so we can use the studio and get the piano fixed, because it's used a lot. Even pianos are sometimes, just a little bit messed up. I mean, there are these filthy things, not filthy. Anyways, inside the piano, it needed some repairs. And they repaired it, and after 2 years, we went there, and I thought like, okay, let's give it everything, and let's use all the high-end mics we can get and stuff. And this is the result. And
let's hear it.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm a little excited here. I just want to.
I want to keep you excited. So I was actually processing it like a year. And during that, I was also developing the technologies to make this happen. So it was a little bit more complicated than that, but still. And it took me like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months to just process all the tracks and stuff, because it was like a 0.5 terabyte of data.
Wow.
And after that, I had this first set of samples of the first mic. and I couldn't make myself play it because I was so scared that it will suck. And I was like sitting in front of the piano and watching it, and I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. And it's fucking awesome. F-word again, but this time it needs to be there, Okay, so we get to a contest number 2.
Contest number 2 coming up.
Hear the bass. It's awesome. It's the first piano with awesome bass sounds.
Can we do it
because
again?
It's
Just
so
give me another bass
big.
one. Lovely.
Right? Okay, so the contest, I pre-recorded it because my fingers suck when I play live. And I'm not really a pianist, I'm a drummer. So, yeah. So I'm going to play you a tune, kind of my take on a specific well-known tune. And the first one who will write in the comments what the tune it is, what's the original, and he will get another SoundFactory license. So shall we start?
So just to reiterate, if anyone can correctly identify this song, the first person, to correctly identify the song you're about to play will get SoundFactory for free.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like an awesome thing to me. Why don't you go ahead and play it? Mesmerizing piece of music.
Thank you. And the last chord is awesome, right? I would call it. Yeah, I can call it because it's only in Czech. In Czech it makes sense, but in English it won't make sense. So, do we have any contenders? Yeah, we cannot have any contenders yet because it's delayed, right?
What do you mean? What is the question?
If we have any people who guessed right.
Well, we got someone said okay. Yeah, we got the national anthem or the Star Spangled Banner. Which is it?
Yeah, it's American national anthem.
Okay, so I think I saw who that was, but I've already forgotten their name. The chat is going pretty fast. But my friend Jim, who's running the chat, who's the chat master today, will find you. And just remember, if you're just joining us, we are giving away a ton of plugins outside of these extra little gifts that Melda is doing every once in a while. But can you begin to walk us through what's inside of this? Because I'm assuming how many velocities did you sample? Like how many microphones? I want to know everything. And as much as you want to give us, I mean, I'm just super pumped about it because it sounds so good. I
think the best way is to just try. It doesn't really matter how many velocities and stuff. I think the result is important. So I'm going to walk you through the results.
You can hide that.
You see this small bar, right?
But yeah, we can see. You can say hide that. Yep, gone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, got it. I was afraid I would mess something up after last time. I'm a bit cautious. So the first beautiful thing we did is we actually recorded lots of mics, and this is the most classic one.
Can you give me just a little more volume on that, Vojtěch, just so we can have it?
Yep, I can do that. Hopefully it won't clip.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Chat, let me know if that sounds a little bit better. But continue, please.
Okay, so this is the most classical miking position. And I was a bit afraid that it wouldn't work when I saw it. I know nothing about miking pianos and stuff, but the guy who was doing it, he was doing it many times, and he just hit it right on the spot. I mean, like originally I thought like these are the Browners. Each of these mics costs about, I don't know, 8,000 bucks or something more.
Oh wow.
Something like that. It's really expensive, and I thought like, yeah, this is going to be the choice number one.
So
But
are
no.
you just clicking the GUI to activate the
Yeah.
microphones?
Yeah, you can click between different microphones. But anyways, this is the typical sound you get from a piano. And the beautiful thing about it is this time he managed to make it really beautifully centered. My biggest problem with most pianos is that the stereo positioning is just really weird. You get used to it at some point, but it just never really is natural. This one is just so beautifully natural. We have other stuff like this is actually HRTF head, which simulates your head inside the piano. And why I'm talking about it, this is the important thing. I mean, when you are sitting in front of the piano, it's something that you cannot really simulate because the sound is just going from the piano from every direction, and it's filtered through your head and stuff, and it's so beautifully spatial, and yeah, it's unimaginable otherwise. But we tried to make it as close as possible, and this is actually simulation of a head. So if you just use this mic and use your headphones, then it's pretty much the closest you can get with nowadays technology, like if you were actually sitting in front of the piano.
It sounds phenomenal, even over the stream, and it just sounds.
Thanks.
It sounds so lush. It sounds so full. I think that's the word I want to use. It sounds full.
Actually, with this piano, there's one thing I never really understood when people were talking about like compressors and equalizers and saying it sounds sweet. I never really got the feeling for it. I never really understood it. And when I was playing this piano, the only word I was ever be able to like describe it with, it's sweet. For me, it's a sweet piano. I don't know. So it improved my vocabulary. But anyway, so then we have these closed mics, and we also have something special. Mics on the ground.
Of course you
which
do.
Actually sounds really cool. It's clipping here.
Yeah, you can turn it down probably a little bit. Yeah, that's fine.
And it's especially good when you mix it with something else. Dissonance.
Don't you have a M limiter or something you can throw on that master?
Yeah, but it will never be like ideal. I mean, like, it shouldn't be.
No, I mean just in case, so we can reduce any clipping.
Okay, so that's one of the things.
How did you just throw that plugin on that channel that fast?
I just selected it.
Oh, but I mean, how did you? Oh my God! Are those all your plugins?
Yeah. I basically the whole Melda production thing is that whenever I found a plugin, I thought like, yeah, okay, this may be good, but I just don't like how it looks, how I can move the knobs and stuff. I was never really happy and wanted to give my take on it. So eventually I made like almost every plugin out there. So yeah. And now I can live only in Melda world, which is just fine for me, It's like OCD, I guess.
So can you give us a few more tastes of the different mics? And maybe someone's asking in the chat if we can see the mic mixer panel.
I will go there.
Okay.
But first, I want to show a few things. I mean, like, for most people, it's designed so that you can stay here.
Right.
And just here to get the tone you want. So the first interesting thing I made is dynamics. Without it, I'm going to play one key just from the lowest velocities I can do. Wait a second, something is wrong. Nothing's playing. Yeah, because there are no mics. So this is the natural velocity range of the piano. I can go really lower. It's just a filter. I mean, like, it's nothing really groundbreaking or anything.
It's filtering your velocity down so it never exceeds a certain value, so you can play softer notes, right?
But basically, it's a low pass filter which is based on the velocity, and
wonderful.
It just improves it so much. It's a simple idea, but it improves it. Other thing like this is tone. This is classic, but this is beautiful. Now, watch this.
My goodness.
You see, it's just filtering the resonances. But I mean, like, the beauty of a grand piano is in the resonances. And what I did was a little technical challenge. I did some, let's just call it spectral subtraction. And basically what it means is I created samples of the keys, the dry keys, and the resonances themselves. And then I felt like, yeah, maybe the resonances could be processed somehow. And actually, it turns out most processing is kind of pointless. But the reverb, it just works really well. And you can choose from lots of different reverbs. You can notice the entropy reverb naming there. So it's obvious what it does. And really, really, really great thing for ambient music and stuff like that. Obviously, reverbs as well. Nothing original in that. But we also have this. If you are into Latin music or something. So now the piano, there's like more control about the piano itself. And what you wanted to hear or look at is the mixer. And yeah, here you can manipulate all the mics.
So how many mics are there total? Because I mean, there's 7 slots there,
yeah,
but it seems like
there's
there's
7
less
pairs.
on the left.
We actually recorded 8 of them, but I discarded one because just it wasn't good enough. And so now we are left with 7 stereo pairs. So, and for each pair, obviously, volume, width. Now, I mean, panning the piano to the right doesn't make much sense, right? But for example, if you have these closed mics, it actually turns out to be really good like this. Now, it makes this strange effect of every key being in the center, but it's actually quite cool. I mean, like, if you are normally playing a piano, and then you can hear this one on the left, and this one slightly on the right. Not too much, but yeah, on the right. But you can actually center it. Also, you can detune it, even like by octaves. Which, again, wouldn't make much sense, but if you mix it with something else, yeah, I'm not a fan of honky tonky, but you can do that. And 4 months. things like that you can do in the mixer, and you can do it differently for each mic, so it can be quite creative thing to do. And when it comes to creative, I went a little too far with that, because I thought like, yeah, okay, everyone takes a piano and says, yeah, okay, it's a piano. That's the end of the story. But I thought like, it can be so beautiful if you like change it.
Oh yeah.
And you can just let me show you a few presets. So.
Okay, that's an electric piano now.
Okay. I'm doing it with a sustain pedal. And it's actually all randomized, so I made all these presets by randomization, so it actually figured it out itself. So
That's blowing my mind, that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a piano.
Just stop it. This is out of control.
All right.
This is out of control.
So it's actually like a creative sound design thingy. And here you can change the order just in case some people wouldn't figure it out. So you can just.
So what's doing?
No, yeah,
Walk me
okay,
through.
it's great.
Okay, so the heavy lifting on most of those is done by the resonator, right? What's the refilter doing there? What is a refilter?
Refilter, I don't remember.
Okay, all right.
Sometimes, when I was designing, in the next part, I will be designing something in SoundFactory, so you can see how easy it is to actually come up with your sounds. And usually when I do it, I just throw random modules. I just try things and see what happens. And refilter was probably some sort of happy accident or something. Since it's called refilter, it's probably a filter of some sort.
Right, so I'm guessing everything gets processed and then refiltered is what I'd assume.
Yeah, considering the controls, this is probably a modal filter. So it's basically a filter bank of bandpass filters focused on some part of the sound.
Gotcha.
And this may be interesting. Yeah, something like that.
Someone's asking, Melda, if there's a complete list somewhere about all the sounds and instruments included in the full version of SoundFactory.
Complete summary of all devices on instruments.
Yeah, not. We don't have to do that. There's wonder if there's a page somewhere where people can.
I'm afraid there's none, and it would have to be updated all the time because there are people working on it as we speak.
Gotcha.
So they are making instruments.
So maybe what's the general overview then of SoundFactory, not just the piano we're checking out today?
General overview. I mean, like the idea behind SoundFactory.
The idea behind it, like kind of some of the highlights about it, just to give people an idea that this isn't just a piano machine that we're checking out here. It's actually a very robust instrument.
Yeah, okay. Basically, the idea was, as usual, it is with me, to create some sort of ultimate instrument which would do everything. I mean, like, most people right now are using Contact for sampling and various synthesizers for synthetic sounds. To me, it just doesn't work. I mean, like, again, I don't want to switch between instruments. That's just not my thing. I want everything to be inside a single one. Why should I have one sampler and one synthesizer or more like a dozen synthesizers? So I thought like, yeah, okay, I will make an instrument which contains everything. And the devices here, these would be for people who don't want to do sound design. So basically, if you buy just the SoundFactory LE, which is, in my opinion, really cheap, then you will have this constant supply of sounds, which technically right now is 3,551 presets for different devices.
How many different devices?
If you are making music, you can just wait for something to happen to... what the hell is that? Jesus. just wait for some inspiration or something. I mean, that's what I do. If I make music, I start with a piano or something, then I know it's going to be a piano. That's fine. But if I want something else, I'm not really sure what it is. So I'm just pressing this button and waiting for something to happen. So and that's actually the idea. Right now it's 3,500, but in the future there will be, I don't know, 10,000, 100,000. Who knows?
And people can grab it right now for 60% off on Plugin Boutique using the links Jim will provide in the chat.
So yeah, that's the idea.
I mean, it's so robust. It's massive. And what is that? A filtering system over in the top left?
Yeah. So you can like choose stuff. I don't know what I would choose. Stuff for pop. Doesn't make much sense. So stuff for EDM. Okay, let's see. Noise Riser Maker, probably not. This one.
So who is contributing all of these? Is it open to the public? Can the public find other people's?
Actually, it's well, technically you can make instruments, and if you would be a sound designer, I'm talking to all of you, then definitely if you make something good, come forward. And you don't need to make the GUIs or anything. We have again people for that. The sound design is currently done mostly by Jason and Chandler, which are our big supporters.
Shout out Jason and Chandler.
Yeah. And also there are a few more people who are contributing from time to time. It's and we are grabbing more people whenever we can, so some designers are definitely welcome.
So we got a question from Vocal OCIP, which is how big is the download on SoundFactory?
Technically, no. So initially, all Melda plugins are inside a single kernel. That's actually one of the big pros of it. Once you basically open one of the plugins, the rest of them are opened really quickly, and they actually share resources and stuff like that. So it's good to be only Melda, just saying. But so this download is about 500 megabytes or something. It includes all of the plugins, all of the devices.
But surely the SoundFactory comes with a library.
Yeah, and then after that, it will show you about here a big red button, which will be saying that you don't have a factory library. So I'm going to click it. It's here. It goes to the same thing. It's the downloader, and these are the things that you can currently download and install for SoundFactory and MDrummer. Now the thing is, many of these things are actually interconnected, like shared between MDrummer and SoundFactory. So you can kind of open them in both, in one of them. Definitely, if you have a full version of SoundFactory, you can use all of it, and you should use all of it, because there are some that are actually using drums inside it, and these are one of my favorites. Actually, this is my favorite. How is it called? It's not for EDM. Yeah, I thought like where it is. So this one. It was created by a certain Manuel from Germany. He's really talented. So Manu, thumbs up for you.
Thank you.
And so you should perhaps install all of it, which means it's going to be right now, if I'm counting correctly, about 80 gigabytes, more probably 85. And already, if you are using the newest version, which you should be using the newest version. Yeah, by the way, this is 16.0a, which is my home beta build or something, and no one has this, and it can crash. so far nothing. So it seems stable. Okay, good. Here you can already press this show beta products. So if you want, you can check the preliminary version of the Melda grant and check it out yourself.
40 gigabytes, it looks like.
And it's 40 gigabytes. Yeah, it's not exactly small, but it's worth it. So
yeah, 100%.
if people would be like saying it's too big, I can perhaps create some limited version with a single mic or something. But
a light version, as they do these days.
I mean, like these days, when we usually have like at least a terabyte SSDs, probably not so important. But I had one question about it, so just saying. So this is how big it is.
And when can we expect it to be released, as it's still in a sort of a beta phase?
Yeah, well, actually, I think now it depends more on the marketing part of the things, which is out of my hands. So we are kind of waiting for a good opportunity and have everything prepared. We need some, more presets and some videos and stuff like this, so we can make some noise about it. It's quite difficult to release things in current market, which is really like full. And even if I think like for me this is the best piano out there, but of course you can disagree with me, but you should at least try to check it out. And so even if I'm right and it's the best piano ever, it would be still difficult to put it out there and be successful. So we want to take it like seriously this time, because a lot of work and money has been invested in this.
Well, I'm very, very grateful that you've chosen Plugin Boutique to give a sort of first sneak peek. So everybody, definitely say thanks to Melda in the chat, and please, by all means, continue with the walkthrough of the device, the instrument, if you want.
Okay, so I think like we may try to go to the edit screen, right, and start making some noise.
Okay, so let's.
Okay.
For people who don't know, can you tell us what we're doing here?
Yeah, so all Melda plugins, not all, but all Melda plugins, if they have this edit button, this is the secret button which gets you into your dream or nightmare. It depends on who you are. So if you are a crazy sound designer and stuff, then this is going to be your dream, perhaps, maybe. So far, it seems like it. I hope. So this is where the magic happens. This first step is not really so important, so I will just skip it. It's just a global ADSR and some settings and lots of other settings we don't need at the moment. The fun part is here. So when I'm making an instrument, or when someone is making an instrument, I would go to the presets, the global presets, and start with the template, ideally with the main template. It has nothing here except for some effects which you can destroy. And it has already a predefined effects section. So if you get back, you can already see it has a generator tab and FX tab with lots of effects, which you will later remove if you don't need them, and the globals.
So it's kind of like a template you've loaded there.
Yeah. It's just to simplify things, because you can start with empty preset. In Melda world, this means empty or default. Doesn't really matter. But I will start with this one. So when you start with MXXX or SoundFactory, it's basically the same thing. You have this grid. And the beautiful thing about it is that it connects automatically. So if I want to make a classic synth, most of you have probably bought a few times. It's, oscillator, and a filter, and a filter, and a filter. Boom! You have a synth.
So we've just created a synthesizer in seconds.
Like a synthesizer plugin. This is basically the structure of most synthesizers out there, I guess. And I'm not going to do this because this is boring for me, and I want to show you some real stuff. I have nothing prepared, so it's going to be like a testing. So if some of you want to try something or whatever, just make a comment or something. So I will try with...
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you load up a preset from the preset, like an actual instrument, can you then go into the edit page to see how that was made? Oh my
You
goodness.
can. So I'm going to show you Melda Grant.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
yeah.
is, yeah, that one isn't simple at all, but it looks simple. So, but there are modulars inside modulars, so things can be quite crazy. This is the creative part of things, and then you have also effects where inside SoundFactory there's another SoundFactory for other samples and stuff like that. So yeah, but you can check it out and you can see how it is done. These are all the parameters there. I almost used all of them.
Would you suggest that as like a good starting point for people, maybe to get in and see how some of
Absolutely
the more?
not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. This is like
Lovely.
when you get like acquainted with SoundFactory and you don't really have a question about what the hell is multi-parameter and what the hell is a modular, like here, then maybe it's time. And if you want to make a piano, I mean, like if some of you would have a like really good piano, or maybe not a really good piano, some crazy piano, I don't really mind. I mean, like people really want some crazy stuff, right? Like for example, there was this guy who was sampling drums in a swimming pool. I thought like this is a marvelous idea. I didn't get the samples yet, but I hope if you are listening, you will send it over because I mean like that's great. So, anyways, if you want to sample any kind of piano or any instrument like that, then maybe open Melda Grant and start messing with it, and perhaps just exchange the samples or something. You can just go into the samplers and do your business here. I can show you the sampler itself. It's not that difficult, not that complicated. I know it's complicated because my resolution is really lowered to some notebook size of things. But yeah, okay. This is just for the stream.
Sorry to bring you off track. You can go back and open a new one. I was just wondering. So I was just wondering for everybody else if that was possible.
Okay, so what you'd probably first do is just enable unison or something. Let's filter it a little bit. I wonder why is it enabled? Is it enabled? Okay, never mind. So when you make a modulation, I'm a little getting ahead of myself, but I think why not to start with it already. So these are most of the modulation inputs, modulation sources. So for example, if I want envelope, I will just drag it here. And I'm going to do something with it. So we have some basic super saw. And if we get here, you can see the modulation matrix. So again, you can see you can do a lot of stuff with the modulation. So for example, but I'm going to show you a little. So these two sources are multiplied, and you can multiply them again with some controller, for example. So if you are doing MPE is, if you don't know what it is, it's the 3D controllers where I didn't connect it. Yeah, I should have connected anyway, so I could show it up. Never mind. So this is basically where you press a key and afterwards you can slide the key or something and pitch bend it, every key separately and stuff. So this is really great for it because you can like control it with it. So right now I could control the amount of the filtering with the timbre. I mean, like this kind of filtering which I made here. So anyways, I'm just making things unnecessarily complicated. So this is just basic sound we will use. Next thing, for example, I want to try a wavetable. So I will probably just go with some preset.
Someone just commented that this is endless, and that's exactly it. And this is what I was trying to say at the beginning of this live stream, is that this is for instruments, but you have this for effects too. This is why people cannot be sleeping on Melda Productions, because yes, it's endless. He's given you all of the tools as easy to use as possible, and you can go in and do, like, the sky is literally the limit with these things.
But you must be not afraid, because initially, if you have power, you need to have some responsibilities.
He did it.
So let's start with that, and then maybe let's add a little bit of. You can hear the string, so. And let's make it more interesting. So, for example, we have all these things like, we can add a drum. Let's not finish it yet. So let's make some sampling thingy. That sucks.
There's an attack for you.
But we are not done with it yet. We will, for example, decide. I'm getting some flow. I'm throwing in modules and hoping for the best. And it may not be the best, but I'll try anyway. So there are filters, all kinds of, but I'm not interested in that. How is it called? Merger. Merger is an interesting tool. Okay. So what I didn't explain for the newbies is how does all this work. So basically, everything connects itself automatically. But if you are not happy with it, for example, I now would like this merger, which has two inputs, 2 lines, to be connected to something else, like the drum, and somehow merge a wavetable with a sampler. So I'm going to right-click on it, and there are a bunch of different settings I can use. So I'm going to connect it to the sampler, and steal a sidechain so you can see how this line disappears, which means the sampler is no longer going down. So the sampler is not outputted now, but it is because it's just mixing now. So let's try different modes. This is weird. Now this is even weirder. Now that sucks. So let's try with the strings. So now you have a frequency modulation between a string simulation and a wavetable. How cool is that? Well, I'm not sure it's cool, but
it's blowing everyone's mind, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Mine included.
Okay, we need to do something with the sampler. What can we do with the sampler? Come on. So what do we have there? We have a modular fit. We have a resonator. Yeah. So resonator is the main part of the string, but you can use it for filtering just about anything. It's essentially like this special kind of micro delay feedback with the feedback, which makes it sound longer, but it's based on the sample.
Such a unique sound.
Now it could work with the merger, perhaps. Yeah, well, I shouldn't be a sound designer apparently, but since I'm just touching random knobs and stuff, it's not that bad. Oh.
I think what you're doing though is you're showing people this is what they should do. Is just get in and listen and hear what does what to what.
Exactly.
Even before you have like sort of a game plan, just get in and experiment, and before you know it, you're going to have a completely unique instrument, essentially. Yeah.
I think that's kind of the most important thing today, because I mean, like, there's so many musicians, and there's a big challenge to make an original sound, something like nobody else heard yet, or something.
Yeah.
And here you can do it, because you can combine anything with anything, and for example, I can just take a piano. Yeah, let's take a piano. Not that one; that would be too complicated. But there's actually the classic sampler, and there's a piano for it.
Can you load in your own samples too?
Yeah. This is not a Melda grant; it's a monastery grant. This is the free piano.
Well, I mean, like, can I load in samples from my sound library?
Of course, yeah, sure.
Of course, I love it. I love it.
I mean, like, that's kind of the point. I shouldn't be saying it to the face of potential native instruments lovers, but it's kind of the plan to throw away contact from its throne.
You heard it here first,
Yes.
folks.
Okay, so basically, it should be quite easy to take stuff from Contact and
like
just
the
throw
what
it
is
in.
it, NKSI or whatever it is? That
You
format?
cannot really import it, and it's closed format. But I mean, if you are making an instrument, you can definitely like export it to SFZ, or you can just import it.
Can you actually? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but can you load in third-party effects plugins in here too?
Nope. And it's not planned, because I have denied it many times. And perhaps, who knows, when we have more developers, some of them may say like, okay, let's do this. I will offer my neck for it, but I'm not going to do that. Because I mean, like, hosting other plugins is the nightmare of every developer. I mean, like, if you look at every DAW, this is one of the biggest challenges they have, and it needs constant support. And we don't really need it, because we have everything in it.
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
That was kind of the plan, I mean, like, if we have everything inside it,
why do you need
then
anything
there's
else?
no need to have anything else.
And again,
I mean, if you would create an instrument with third-party plugins, then users of your instruments would need it as well. But right now, if you make an instrument in SoundFactory, everyone can open it, and it's going to be just fine. So.
And again, like, if you don't find it already there, maybe you want a different type of compression or a different type of reverb, you can just make your own. It's so insane. I can't, like, that is just the biggest mind blower for me. Like,
it's actually technically like, in most cases, when people ask, is there something like this? Usually people on the KVR like respond, yes, it's there. So usually most stuff is there. Sometimes it's a little difficult to make something work. I mean, like, some crazy stuff, but usually most of it is there. It has a specific workflow. It's not like the typical synth where you have, like, I mean, 20 knobs in a single page, and that's it. I mean, this needs to be tapped, and you need to just click between the modules and stuff. On the other hand, just if you don't know it, there's this button.
Yeah, you can like make a GUI, right? Like,
and yeah, you can make a GUI, of course. But I mean, like, if you are designing the sounds and you want to see more modules at the same time because you are playing with them, you can just do that. Like, now I see filter and the wavetable at the same time. So, just a hint.
Can you kind of show us real quick how you can begin to make a GUI? That's so you don't need to tap?
I will get to it. Okay,
okay.
Well, I used the piano, so I thought, like, we will use it with the. Oh, we can resonate the piano. This is just weird, but anyways, I want to try. So. It's not so interesting. So let's enable everything. This is my beautiful sound I made for you. Wait, I forgot the other contest. So just remind me afterwards.
You got another contest.
Yeah, another song. Yeah, people have to guess another song. I recorded it before, so just I recorded it.
We'll do that. We'll do that when we're wrapping up. We'll give it a
Yeah,
playthrough.
yeah. We'll do it. So it wasn't in vain, So okay, so let's make a GUI for this beautiful sound. This is all about these multi-parameters. So basically, all you need to do is first think hard what you actually want to make as controls. So when I look at my thingy, I have no idea where to even start. But for example, this could be a good start. Maybe we should have a mix because we have so many sources. So I will use a mixer, mix all these inputs together. Not 5, not there anymore. And is it working? Yeah, now it's getting a little bit crazy here, but yeah.
Oh,
What happened? Yeah, that's the beta build. So I just lost everything.
We can start again.
Okay.
We can start again.
Yeah, we can start again. Yeah, at least you can see how difficult it is to develop stuff. It can crash anytime. Yeah, I'm always working with these things, so I'm saving stuff. What was it? This is the piano, right? Yeah, this is the piano. I don't want the piano. So I will start all over and make something simpler so I can show the GUI this time. So let's start from the end of it. So piano. Yeah, there will be a little problem. My keyboard is kind of broken and it really likes to send nonsense pitch bend. So before I get to that, I didn't load the template, right? Okay, so you can see how I'm messing things up. So let's start again.
It's okay.
Loading
This
template.
is the beauty of being live.
Yeah. So load the template. Nothing is happening because there's nothing. And I'm going to set the pitch bend range to 0 because my pitch bend doesn't really work, unfortunately. At least it doesn't really work well. And I wanted piano, but never mind. I will do a piano. Oh, okay.
Can you give us just a little bit more volume?
Yep. This is how you do it. By pressing set, you basically let the plugin analyze some hidden performance, playing just a few notes, and setting the volume so that it's the same as for other instruments. So that's another perk you can use when designing sounds.
Even that's like one plugin in and of itself. You've just...
I mean, like, it's a logical feature. I mean, like, if you expect people to design presets and instruments for you, you should make it as simple as possible for them. So This is one of the things. Yeah, this one is killing it. And that's probably because it's going through all that. Now, it's time to explain a little thing. Some people don't understand, and I cannot blame them. So basically, the signal flow in SoundFactory is like this. The generator is something that is allocated for each voice. So if I play one key and another key, there will be actually 2 oscillators and 2 samplers. You can imagine like that.
Okay.
Then all the voices are mixed into these 6 outputs. And these 6 outputs are sent here, and not here, because this is a modular, are sent here to these inputs. And as you can see right now, I'm only processing oscillator through the modular, which means all the effects, and that's probably the difference in the volume. So what I should probably do is just mix them, or even better, use a ratio, which makes you easily blend between them. And now it's okay. And just add a filter, and this time I'm going to save it. Afterwards, I will do the exact same filter, probably. Just add an LFO.
All right, now we need to turn it down a little bit. We're getting some crackling.
Yeah, we'll do that. But first, okay, saving now. Just in case we have another 1600A.
Someone just said save your project, so you can feel the energy.
Usually, when I'm coding, actually people were laughing at me because when I'm programming, I tend to press Control S like after every word. It's actually crazy. It's really killing my workflow. So I probably don't do that anymore, although I'm not really sure. I didn't even know at the time, but people started laughing, and I was like, "What are you laughing at?" And you are pressing Control S more than you are actually typing. So I was like, okay, thank you. And then I noticed they were actually true, but yeah. Okay, so we have sound, and we will make a UI for it. So, for example, this is the typical start. So I will right-click on it, clear and learn, and that's it. Or actually, it can be even quicker, but I don't just use it. Quick learn and just touch it. Okay, so we have a shape, and it uses mesh as the default, which is a nonsense. We will use a default, for example, I don't really care. And now we want to control unison. So just touch it a few times and call it unison. I usually do it like this, so I will do it this way again because I'm not used to the quick learn. So I will just name it oscillator. This is the group, and this is the parameter. It's basically all you need to do. And here I will change the group again to the oscillator, so they are all grouped.
Nice.
And it's a switch, and the default should be something reasonable. So the filter is killing it. I thought, like, why cannot even hear it? And the sine wave also kind of sucks. So let's make this. This is where you control what the multi-parameter actually does. And here's how it looks in the GUI. So works. Okay. Now, how about voices? Okay, doesn't seem to make any sense above like 8.
So you put a cap on it, yeah?
Yeah. And again, oscillator and voices.
Where's the min-max values?
Min-max values are here. For every parameter, it is attached. That's all listed here. And if you select it, you have the range here. And so there are lots of things you can do with this multi-parameter. So I'm just really scratching the surface, but I think it's enough. And now that's the first, perhaps, I mean, like interesting thing you should know is the units. Because right now it's showing 50%, but I would like to know how many voices, right? So here is how you define what should it show. So I will choose by first parameter. So we'll just take the value from this parameter. That's it. So it will now show the voices. And I would like 4 to be default. So I just go here and click set value. That's it. I'm going quickly, so it's possible that you don't understand everything. Feel free to ask on anything. There are tutorials for it. So
You were
I'm just
also gonna.
trying to...
this stream will be archived on the channel. We'll also make some highlight videos that people can easily rewatch and digest.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm only trying to show what's possible and how quickly it can be done, not really a tutorial or anything. So that's let's say everything for the oscillator. And what can we do with the sampler? What can we do with the sampler? There's not much to do with the sampler. So we can probably process the samplers somehow. And we have my favorite resonator. And so we can obviously have a control to control the ratio between the oscillator and the sampler. So let's call it ratio or mix. Ratio is fine. So and this should probably be a little louder. And let's just do some random fiddling. That's not so interesting. But anyways, let's give it some more interest with some. We can put it. This is actually interesting. Unlike basically every other instrument I have ever seen, here you can actually throw effects into the per voice chain, which means these will allocate one reverb for every voice you have. Now, usually it doesn't make much sense. For example, it still makes sense even here, because it still makes sense. But usually it's especially useful with distortions, because if you distort a mix of voices, it sounds usually quite horrific unless you play like a fifth. But if you distort individual voices, it's quite fine usually. So let's distort it. Okay. And let's disable our effect. And that's because now that is getting more original. Not that I would like to use this in my music, but still better than nothing. Okay, and now we can, for example, control how much reverb we want and what kind of resonator we want. So the feedback is most important for the resonator. It's not doing that much. Seems like the saturator is killing it anyways. No, it's not. But maybe. Okay, let's give it a bigger range. So the range for the resonator will be. Okay, let's go down there too. Sometimes you just need to, try and see. For example, with feedback, it's quite typical the case where you go to the positive feedback and you expect it to sound quite similar with the negative feedback, and it sounds completely different. So let's see. Like in this case. So now it's getting more interesting. And again, my first parameter. By the way, are you still there? I'm just thinking. Okay. I'm just thinking, if I'm not talking to myself, because it happened to me sometimes.
No, I'm mesmerized. We've got a couple hundred people watching. We're all just trying to pick our jaws up off the floor on what's happening right now. Trust me, You're killing it. Keep going.
Okay. So, well, let's call it sample. And feedback. It doesn't really make much sense in the context of a sample, but yeah. And saving, by the way, I just pressed Ctrl+S just in case I'm still forgetting it. When I'm talking in front of the people, I'm just not doing the things that I would do normally. Yeah. I like this. This is horrifying.
Yes, it really is evil, man. It's evil.
Exactly. I like evil sounds. So, what can we do to okay, let's give it some octaves, and I will show you a different kind of GUI you can have. So let's just say you don't want a knob on your GUI and you want a selector. It's surprisingly simple. But to do that, I will probably show the Jesus. It's so hard to work with
a small
screen.
Everybody, we've forced Melda to be on regular HD for the stream, so this is our fault. Usually he has a monitor that is as wide as my room is long, so...
And not true, but it's 4K, so yeah. So, this parameter cannot be different than just these 4 values. So, knob doesn't really make much sense for it. I forget to name it. So, shift or whatever. And now we can already check out the edit screen, and there, see, it's horrible, but we will make it better, and it's really easy.
So this is the GUI that you've been creating.
This is the GUI which I'm creating, and so far it sucks, as you can see, but it's going to be good pretty soon.
One step at a time.
Yeah. So the shift, I want to make it a selector. And I set it to selector, and it creates this. This is weird, right? That's because it doesn't know we have 4 values. So, and now we have persons. That's not ideal either. So we should put it by first parameter. Simple.
That's awesome.
You can actually name it for yourself. Using the Banks mode there, you can do like all kinds of crazy stuff, but I'm not going to get there. At this point, it would only confuse people. So now, let's make it a little nicer. So first of all, I think the oscillator should be next to the sampler. So, Jesus.
Oh.
I hate this about Reaper. Whenever I press escape, even if I'm inside a different window, it just sometimes closes the plugin. It's probably because the window is actually selected, but still, it's surprising sometimes. Okay, so there are some secret shortcuts, but you don't need shortcuts anymore because we enhanced the GUI recently in the version 15, I think. So if you right-click on any of the knobs or any control, basically, you can see these things like for middle and stuff. But what I'm interested in is the manager, which is the manager for the multi-parameters, where I can reorder them easily. And now I can get to them easily. And what I need is the save row. Save row is the answer for most GUI questions. Now it's way better. And the unison should perhaps be below it. I don't know. Maybe it should be a title button. Title button. So now it's here.
What?
Anyways, the thing is, this is kind of a music of the past. We still need it because some people don't like the custom GUIs. For example, if I go to a different device or something, it looks like this.
Right.
In my opinion, it's better because it has some sort of inspirational feeling or something. It's easier to work with.
And the people can make that too, right?
Yeah, people can make the too, and I will get to that. But
I just want to, if I could just jump in for a second to remind everybody watching that you are not just an expert at showing us what's happening right now. You actually made this ecosystem to allow people to do this. So it's not just like you're a product expert here, which obviously you are, but you are the mastermind that put it all together, which is just insane to me.
So what I wanted to show you, it was how it would look. See, this is the safety button, so more like a safety checkbox for people who hate the graphical interfaces. So you can always make it look like this. So it's still important to have the GUIs reasonable, but at the end, even for me, I was always a fan of these, technical GUIs, but this just looks better to me.
Yeah, it does look nice, that one.
Yeah, and this is our one. Okay, not so awesome, but we'll get there. So this is what we have so far, and perhaps we will start removing things. I could obviously map some more stuff, but that's not really important for this demo. I would say now is the time to say, okay, these effects are not important, these features are not important. So this is from the template. This is for the template, and also, and you can see I messed things up.
Okay.
This is good. This is good because I can show what most people would mess up. Essentially, there should be the tabs here, right? There should be generator, FX, envelope, and it's here. That's because I didn't explicitly specify where the thing starts. You can see this thing, this generator, and this character, which looks like a letter, and I have no idea how is it pronounced, but for me it's letter. So the only thing I need to do is just put it to the first parameter, which should be in that tab, because you don't really need to have just 3 tabs. After all, if you look at Melda Grand, it has 6 tabs. So you can make any number you want. But anyways, now it looks reasonable, like the typical instrument, which has these 3 tabs. I can rename it. It doesn't need to be generator if I want to make it a piano, call it a piano, it's just fine. And now I have to decide what I want to save from this. Usually I would keep all of it because it makes sense to me. On the other hand, if you keep all of it, you will have to implement all of that into custom GUIs, like in the graphical GUIs, which is painful. So I'm going to be a real dick now. Can I say dick?
Family.
Okay, I'm going to be family. And I will destroy all of it. I will just destroy it. So reset, and that's it. It's not there anymore. And I go to the FX, and now FX are disabled because I disabled them here. So okay, you can see what's in there, and I would say that without further notice, I, after brutal exploration, found that all of these effects are pointless, which is probably not true, but I'm going to remove them anyways, just to show you how to do this. So again, I showed this thing, and these multi-parameters are here. So here's the distortion. You can see again FX and the ladder and distortion. This is always group and parameter. So I'm going to destroy distortion, lo-fi, amp, and all of it up to the delay. So just select all of it, destroy, and it's destroyed. Now I should probably also destroy the actual effects, right? So here's
will
the
that
distortion.
save on the processing power, like the consumption?
Well, it probably won't because it's disabled.
Right.
Since the modulus, there were always like enable buttons. They are still there for all of these things, and it not only disables the controls themselves, it also disables obviously the processing.
Yeah.
Yeah. but it's better to destroy them because I mean this unnecessarily populates the memory and needs to be initialized and stuff. So let's just kill all of it.
So good practice if you're not going to use it, just to get rid of it.
Yeah. So that should be probably it. Now, what I should also do, which I won't really do because I don't have the MPE instrument connected, it's probably find some parameters which would be good to modulate using the stuff the MPE controllers have, which means after touch pressure, pitch bend is automatic and timbre. So these two should be mapped to something so that it does something when you actually play the MPE instrument. If you don't do that, that's okay. It won't be an MPE instrument. Yeah. Okay, so I'm a little sad that I couldn't show it up, but yeah, it's too late.
We get it though. I think we're fine.
Okay, so now where we ended? Yeah, so I didn't do that. Now let's just say this is really all the parameters I wanted to create, and I'm happy with my instrument now. I should probably check it out. That at this point it's. Oh, come on, seriously?
Yeah. When was the last time you Control S there?
Yeah, I saved it, so it's fine.
Nice.
But this time, beta build. Okay, so
just another disclaimer that this is your like home alpha build of everything.
Yeah.
So
1608. I should have used the final build, but I like to test online.
Yeah, live stream is the best place to test stuff.
Yeah.
That's what dev streams are all about. We're happy to have it.
Exactly. Okay, so let's just say now I'm happy with it. I tested all the controls and I'm happy with it. Then we have these MIDI settings, and this is probably something that was left there from. Does it actually work? So I will just kill all of it. The thing is, we have this concept of main controllers. The idea is everyone has a different controller, different knobs, different failures and stuff. So what people should do is select all your knobs and sliders or whatever you have on your controllers, save it as a preset, and then instead of actually using your controller here, you would use these main ones. So let me just show you what I'm show you what I will do, and then explain what I have actually done.
I'm gonna just hold on 1 second. I've got our cameras over here. I'm just gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm just going to map a few of these main controllers. I shouldn't do it like this. This is crazy. I usually do it like this. Just right click on something and middle learn. And just stop the learn and select the main. Now, what I have done is mapped 3 of the, in my opinion, most important parameters in my instrument to what did I just say? Okay, 3 controllers which are not really defined. So I selected parameter 1, 3, and 7, which I think are the most important, and mapped them to main 1, 2, and 3. And the idea is people won't be going here. People will only go to the main controllers, select their presets, and whatever controller they have, it will all work the same with all instruments.
Nice.
So basically, you don't really need to remap everything with every new instrument or something. You just load it up and then just switch between instruments, and your knobs will automatically work with the in the idea of the view of the designer of the instrument with the most important controls. So that's the idea. After that, obviously, save again. Now, I hope I didn't forget anything, but let's just say I'm ready. And now I can go to the edit screen and menu and export device. You can also do it from here. Just hold Control and export device. Now this is a warning, just so you know what you are doing. Yeah, before I do that, no, it's fine. I didn't do that for some time. So here, you just need to place it somewhere. So I have this beautiful exclamation mark folder, which I always use because it's the beginning of the alphabet in a way. So I'll name it my beautiful instrument, and I would write all the stuff here. If it would be commercial, I could generate a password, but I won't do that. So that's basically also an answer to potential questions. If you can make instruments in SoundFactory as sell them, yes, you can. And technically, people, if you don't want them to, they don't even need SoundFactory full version or early version. They can just use the player. So this is kind of a, I mean, if you are designing a sampling library like a piano, drums, or whatever, you usually have to pay lots of money to native instruments or something. Here, you just need to buy SoundFactory, design it, and that's it. People can use it for free. Not for free. If you want, they have to pay you. So
That's
but
amazing.
other than that, yeah. And here you can just select whatever. Just selecting because I'm absolutely sure what am I doing. And here's important stuff. This last column. Here you basically say what kind of instrument it is. What does it do? Does it support MPE? In my case, it doesn't because I didn't really use any MPE controllers. Does it have a full GUI? Yes, it does have the easy screen GUI. Do I want it to make it editable? That means, will the edit button be visible if someone loads it? Will I want someone to be able to check the intestines of my instruments? So I usually say yes, by the hell not. But if you are doing something, I mean, awesome, and you don't want other people to know what you did, then you can uncheck it. Is it hungry for the CPU? I think this is going to be just fine, so it should be fine. Factory this is for me. This basically, if it's a factory, then it means it's distributed with SoundFactory, and you need SoundFactory license for it. So in your case, if you are making some instrument for someone and you want to sell it or just give it away, and you really don't want to check it out, check it. Custom GUI is if you have a custom GUI, which we will get to in the next part. And third party, yes, let's just say I'm a third party. I'm you, and this is a beautiful instrument I want to sell. So this is my beautiful instrument, and that's about it. Except for filling it. Now it should be here. Yeah. So we have this.
Nice.
And now let's get to the GUI. Haha, some fun. So again, control click on the menu or just go into the edit screen. The thing is made in such a way. I mean, you may be asking why you need to press control. That's because it's all made for normal people. So in the beginning, when you open SoundFactory, the main screen is made so that it's as simple as possible. So if you click a menu, there's almost nothing there. That's just to make it simple. But if you hold control, you can get to the nasty stuff. And this custom GUI designer. So this is it. You load some background. The background I had. Yeah, I wanted to use
Nice.
this for the creative part of the for the month background, and yeah, well, it looks like a bull to me. Like it has specific feeling, but yeah, I didn't like it anymore. And now the beautiful thing about it is that it will actually make the GUI on its own. So first, I need to specify the tab name. So what I'm going to do is a custom GUI project. So I'm going to save it first. Just my beautiful instrument. Is it still in? Nah, it's not exactly board. Nevadí. My blah 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 blah. Ah, never mind. Okay. And there's one project for one tab. Usually, most of the instruments just have custom GUI or like the graphical GUI for the main page only. But you can make GUIs for all of them. I wouldn't do it for globals though. It looks the same for all instruments, and I think it should be like that. So I'm going to write generator here, save it, and create items from device. It will give me some, not important stuff. So this actually created all the controls I have there. So what I need to do now is just turn this into something that you can watch. So I'm going to destroy controls I don't need.
So why are they modulating right now?
Yeah, they are not really modulating. They are showing you themselves in different states.
Gotcha.
They are animating just so you can see how it actually looks. So first of all, to explain how this all works. This is like the creator where you can load the background and automatically create all the controls and stuff. And from now on, I won't need it. Here, again, I won't really need it anymore. There's also some additional stuff. If you are like advanced, you can go there, but otherwise it's not important. But I need to select the output, which means my instrument. And that's it. Now I can hide it again. And here are fonts. So I will just choose some preset. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So I can close it as well. I probably need the title of that. My beautiful instrument. Yeah, I need the title. The title is the most important thing. You would be surprised. Really, the title is like alpha and omega of the whole thing.
Well, let's not forget it then. Let's put it in there.
Yeah, let's put it there. So if you want to make a control, just click any of these. So I made a control, and here's the set of controls I already have there. And here you can see all the settings of that control. Usually, just put it somewhere.
Is there like a snap to grid function? People are wondering.
It's all snapped. If you move, it's snapping. And the settings are here. It's snap 8 pixels. But you can change it to anything. I usually keep just 8 pixels because it's a nice number which works with most knobs because it's power of 2 and stuff, and all the sizes are power of 2. But you can actually make anything as big as you want. But I will get to that. So my beautiful instrument, and I will just resize it. Select the font.
It's like Photoshop for VSTs, man. This is insane.
It's kind of crazy, yeah. But I have done so many of these GUIs that I just needed to improve. In the beginning, you should have seen it. It was horrible. So. And I will just go to see.
Oh, that's the one.
This is the perfect one. Yeah, it's heartwarming, And when I look at it, I feel great.
I do. I feel wonderful. Thank you for choosing it.
Okay, and now I will just move things where they should be. Shift. Why is Shift a selector? What the hell? Yeah, it should be a selector. But it doesn't understand it. Okay, we should probably use the Banks mode anyways. I never actually tried this. I always use the Banks mode because usually you do that. But so, yeah, let's just use
So essentially,
marvelous
what you're doing
feature.
right now is on the GUI, it only has 2 states where it should have 4, right?
Yeah, it doesn't recover it. There are so many ways the UI can be designed that it's really a mind twister. So there are so many settings which somehow interconnect and somehow influence each other. So sometimes it just doesn't work as it should. Okay, so because what I did here with the steps is actually kind of like really weird. I usually use selectors with this banks mode because you do something complicated. But yeah, and now I should probably okay. Good. So this is it, and feedback goes to the sample. This goes to the sample. Everything goes to the sample.
So are there like preset dials you can choose from?
Preset dials, what do you mean?
Like graphics? Like right now it's just kind of a floating blue line.
Yeah. You go here, and for every control there are presets, and this is usually what I use. I just jump between different presets, and let's just say I'm really happy with this one. And then just click to all, and it will copy itself to all, including all the names, but I want it like this. And voila, all knobs are like that. And the same thing I can do for this.
This is blowing my mind. This is absolutely blowing my mind right now.
This is selector. By the way, this thing doesn't have undo. So, save it often. Okay, this is just weird. Oh, now this is the one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
This is the most horrible GUI I have ever created.
No, this is you should sell this as an NFT. We should do it.
Yeah. Finally rich. Yeah, okay. And just put it into separate panels. That's just how we...
Oh, with the blur there? Let's just...
and the blur is... Yeah, I want right now I have decided and that I want it to look horrible. And I think I'm getting close to that.
I mean, you're doing a great job.
Okay, never mind. This is fine. And duplicate, and we have a GUI.
We do.
Well, now I should click show all targets. Now this is really important because it will show you if there are any controls missing and if there is something weird. And right now there is nothing weird apparently. It's just that sample shift is there twice, which is like exclamation mark. Something is weird, but it's because of this shift, because the text is also attached to the sample shift.
So can you just unattach it then?
I cannot. I never did this, and it doesn't matter. It's just I know that it's okay, and usually it's okay. But for example, if I put this something wrong, I show targets. See, it shows me. Yeah, okay. Watch this. Something is weird, and so you just need to be careful with this.
Right, that's kind of like the debug.
It's like a checker. Yeah. It will just check that you didn't do something really, really weird. Obviously save again. And now the beautiful part where we export and load. And let's hope. Yeah.
So is it exported? Is it exported as a VST? Like how a DLL?
It's not a DLL. It's not a separate like plugin or anything. That's the whole idea. It's instrument inside SoundFactory. So right now I have added another instrument. And if you you cannot really export it as a separate plugin, and it doesn't really make sense that would get us to square one where you have to switch between instruments.
But so if you have do you have a free version of SoundFactory, right?
Yep.
Will it play inside of that?
Yep, it should, unless I did something weird. I didn't. So let me just deactivate everything, and let's see if it works. Still in version 16. Now that's a beta test. Yep. SoundFactory demo. It's demo for now. But if it would be weird, it would probably show something like trial, and then a big red thingy that I should buy this instrument and activate it or something. Which we can do for Melda Grant. That it's still in demo. So after the demo finishes, or wait a second, what do I have here?
What's happening?
People were asking for different kinds of activations. Like when I released MXXX, I know it costs €1,000. Not everyone can really afford it, but it contains everything. So I think it's worth every penny. But okay, I know it's expensive. So people asked, please make us a smaller version where you will be able to enable different modules by buying them. So I created MXXX Core. And you would be surprised how difficult it is and how difficult it is to maintain. I mean, there are trials, there are demos, and here it's all modular, and different modules may have different licenses, and some of these instruments may have different licenses. And this is all nightmare.
I can't imagine. I'm telling you, I don't think I can't, or anyone in the chat right now can imagine. If that's a thing that's stressing you out after just watching you do what you just did with the plugins that you've made, I mean, I don't even want to know how much of a nightmare it is. It must be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
but anyways, it should be. It's a demo. Why it is a demo? I have to investigate this one, which is like the worst thing ever. When I have to investigate something with licenses, and I mean, like, oh no.
Listen.
Probably a trial.
We're coming up on.
It's a trial.
Okay.
I have 11 days remaining. Hey.
Well done. Hey, I know a guy. If you need a free copy.
Yeah, I almost forgot. It's time for this guy to guess the other song.
Yeah. We're about time to wrap up here. We're coming up on 2 hours. So if there was another little quiz you wanted to give everybody, I think now is the time.
Yeah, now is the time, definitely. So let me load, and let's choose something more weird, like. So it's weird. I don't know. So the first person who guesses what song this is, and this is my take on it, but it actually isn't that much changed from the original. I mean, only the harmonies. So the first one that guesses it will get SoundFactory for free.
There we go. You heard it here first. Let's go ahead and do it. Beautiful. I almost teared up.
It's so horrible with this harpsichord kind of thing, and it's such a beautiful song. I almost feel like I should play it again with normal piano, but nah, we'll see.
We're doing a challenge here. I think that's fine the way you do
it. So, did anyone? Yeah, we have another 30 seconds. Okay, so maybe I should play it with the normal piano, right?
If you want to, I'm not going to stop you.
Okay, so like this, for example.
Harvard Sandstorm. All right, so
Yeah, wait, I read it again.
we've got a bunch of some really great and creative answers here. I'm actually going to flip back over. We're all done with the demos, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just bring us back in here. While we're getting there's such a wide range of guesses on this one. You'd be surprised.
Just name some. Yeah.
We've got Fez Amor Comigo. We've got the Czech national anthem.
Yeah, that is Czech national anthem.
Oh, a couple of people I have put that in there. Jim, it's up to you to find the first person who did it, and they will win a copy of N SoundFactory.
And that was the funny guess, huh?
No. There were like a Darude Sandstorm. Just some other funny ones in there. That was not the funniest one. The funny one that I just.
Yeah. Okay, so someone actually guessed it.
Yeah, a couple people. To be honest,
that means that the Czech Republic is famous.
Yeah, no, there were a couple people who said that, and I don't. Yeah.
Are they Czech? Yeah, probably Czech, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're listening. They can let us know in the chat. But listen, Melda, it's been an absolute pleasure. You warped my mind. I need a rest. I need time to digest what I've just witnessed here. I knew it was going to be intense going in. It's just so incredible. I can't say enough how just the plugins out of the gate are incredible, but then you add this whole other layer of being able to do whatever you want. You've created like a sandbox for plugins. And it's phenomenal. I mean, there are instruments that I love that are still not MPE compatible. And like you've already got it built in that now I can make a synth that's MPE compatible. Just like it's just
Yep.
And I'm not alone in this, by the way. You can go back and read the chat. People are thrilled and honored to have just spent the last 2 hours with you to experience Melda through your own eyes, man. It's been an absolute, just a wonderful stream. Thanks for coming back. Giving us a second run at it. I hope it went a little smoother than last time. Everybody see it. No one's complained about anything yet, so I think we've done it. The stream went off without a hitch. We've learned a lot.
High five.
Yeah, boom. Oh, wait. Okay. We've got a bunch of winners here. I'm going to wait for Jim to give me the list of winners in the chat here. But in the meantime, can you give us kind of any sort of roadmap for the future or like what's happening in Melda this year? It's kind of early in the year, but you got any news for us?
So technically, the news is we are getting more developer first. Who knows? We'll see. And so the first thing that will happen is version 16 beta. Just in case, it's full of optimization. It's all about optimizations. That's why it is so someone crashing, all the time. But I will have it figured out. After that, wait for it. I will have a holiday for the first time in years. I work even on weekends. I work all the time. I mean, and my wife isn't happy about it, and she's constantly asking me when you will start, having some holidays like normal people. I mean, like, yeah. I was saying, yeah. I will do that soon. So this is going to happen soon. So I will have like a month. During the time, I will try to make music, and I will try not to work, which will be really difficult because I just do work.
I'm actually on vacation right now, so I completely understand.
It's for the love, though. The love of the game, the love of VSTs, the love of music. Someone was actually asking in the chat if you have time for music making these days.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And I want to. I want to finally get into it. I mean, I love everything from classical to metal music. I have to finish all my projects, and you will see. You will see. I will be everywhere in my YouTube channel, which will have like 10 subscribers or something. Anyways,
well, if you got a YouTube channel,
music back.
Let us know and we'll plug it for you.
Good. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to be famous.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. Anyways, this is the first thing. So first, I want to have some holidays finally, and attend to my kids and stuff, and make music. And after a month or something, there's one plan for a specific drum plugin, because right now I got into not right now, it's like 2 years or something, I get into the modern metal mood. That's why you may see all these guitars and stuff. So there are still some, uncovered, uncharted territories, and I want to make a new plugin directly for drums. So there will be something directly for a metal drums, and there will be another M drummer pack made using the Drum Empire, because we already sampled like this huge set of drums and we sampled it beautifully. So it just needs a little bit more processing to make it sound real tight for the modern metal, which I like. So I can finally make metal. There will be the Guitar Architect. You can already check the demo, and it is like MXX for guitarists.
Oh, wow.
So if you play guitars, that you should definitely check it out. And again, it's for me, and same thing for bass. And so I can finally make some metal songs, And after that, I think the rest of the development team will be working on SoundFactory, because that needs, all these weird synthesis methods and physical modeling and stuff like that.
Is that in the pipeline?
Yeah, is that in the pipeline? I have a huge pipeline. You shouldn't see my to-do list, And it's funny when you have like this long to-do list. Well, you cannot see it, and that's intentionally. You can see the range of it, and then people ask you to make this thing, like this huge project. Like thing a normal company would do for years, and they will ask you to do that now. And if you say no, they will tell you, why is he saying no? Come on, he should do it now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyways, so there's a lot of the stuff which I consider good in the pipeline, but the problem is I didn't have time to do it. So the other developers will do that. And I will finally get to the mixing revolution. Nice. That's I repeated this term, and now I think it almost sounds funny, because it's like 4 years and I didn't even start on that because I didn't have time for it.
Someone actually, I put out like a little teaser video about this stream yesterday, and someone asked about what's up with the mixing revolution, and I was like, yeah. So you've just, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. Everybody needs to relax.
It's all here, and most of the technologies are already ready, so it shouldn't be that long. Who knows? It will be big. So, yeah, I will need some time for that. But if it works, I will finally be able to mix my projects, because I'm that lazy. And I have projects. I mean, like my music hold here like 10 years or something, and I couldn't mix it because I was too lazy. I wanted to make a plugin to mix it, but 10 years. So
all right, well, I'm actually gonna let everybody know who's won what, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course. And these people should make an account on the Melda production page, and I just need the emails.
Well, we'll just have them contact support at Plugin Boutique, if that's all right, and then we can...
Okay, do it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's just easier
that way. That's the way we usually do it on the stream, so you don't need to worry about it. Also, Jacob had given me everything ahead of time, so
cool.
we can handle everything from this end. So these are the winners. I've got, let's see how many winners I've got. 1, 2, 3. The 3 from your quizzes, the winners of M SoundFactory, and then I've got 3 winners of the M Essential Effects bundles, and then I've got 2 winners of the M Multi-Analyzer and 2 winners of the M Turbo Reverbs. If your name is called, please email support@PluginBoutique and say who you are, what you won, and you need to send a screenshot of you logged in under your username. That's how we can verify that it's actually you. Pretty simple to do. And the winners are of M SoundFactory, Patrick Bradshaw, congratulations, Rivermint Official, and Sunday Came. You are the winners of M Sunday Factory. Congratulations. The winners of the M Essentials Effects Bundle is David Kovac, David Frick, and Corey Mumper. Congratulations on winning the M Essentials Effects Bundle. And then M Multi-Analyzer, we've got Richie, that's Richei, and Colin Smith. You win the analyzer. And then the M Turbo Reverb winners are Jamie Ortega and Jim Hurley. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you very much, Melda, for letting us give those away. That's a lot of plugins. And everybody who just watched this stream knows how incredible the plugins are. So thank you very much for not only spending 2.5 hours of your day with us and teaching us and showing us around M SoundFactory, but allowing us to give away those copies to the community.
My pleasure.
Yes. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Unless there's anything else you want to say, anything else you got going on besides that 60% off M SoundFactory exclusively on Plugin Boutique right now. Jim's going to put a link in the chat for everybody. But anything else you want to say?
Yeah, buy our plugins. I'm hungry.
He's got a new child. He's got a baby. He's got
that's true. I
baby
have
Melda
3
needs
babies.
to eat.
And you will be surprised how much they eat.
No, I wouldn't.
They eat only the good stuff, you know.
Of course.
I eat the rest of it. So, it's the typical parenting. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks again. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thanks to Jim for running the chat. I'm Joshua Casper here for Plugin Boutique. That's Vojtěch, Melda, Meluzín, right?
Vojtěch,
Meluzín.
You have to say it with the Czech accent, you know. Vojtěch, Meluzín.
You got to do it an octave lower than normal.
Right?
Yeah.
We Czechs speak really low, you know.
Anyway, man, thanks a lot for coming. Thanks for everybody for tuning in.
My pleasure.
We're going to leave a list of the winners in the first comment on the video. We're going to plug it. We got some highlights coming up on the channel. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. And we will see you in the next stream. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
To the top, ragamuffin keeps striving in every way. International, what they call we international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm when I come down crucial. And me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place, I with the one Jamalski. We are the general. We sit about the rhythm in the open, the mic incredible. I'm be right palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm I sit down steady. Every ragamuffin you have to rock and follow me.